Greater Accra, led by Agwapa Jonathan with the team. You are welcome, Greater Accra. We move to, thank you, you're welcome. Resume your seats. Thank you, thank you. We move to the Western region. Western region is led by the Regional Youth Coordinator, Anthony Kwame Sarr. Please be on your feet. You are welcome. The best comes from the West. The best comes from the West. Thank you. Central region, our brother, the home of our Gnat president, led by our brother commanders. Shalom Esel, kindly be on your feet with your coordinator, district coordinators. You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. You are welcome. No. So now we come to the host nation. Where? Asante region, led by the Regional Youth Coordinator, Ebenezer Ajeman. Kindly be on your seat, your feet. Asante region. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, Asante, kindly come, kindly come, kindly come. This is the host.
Show the power. Chawai. Ashanti waya. Oh yeah. Yeruko. Yerujanio. Aye. Sakutu. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Asante region, Regional Youth Coordinator. At this moment, we want to invite the National Youth Coordinator, Mr. Sam Kodi, to do the rest of the introduction to us. So let's welcome him with a hand of applause, please.
Youth, we continue with the program. First on the list is our brother, Assistant Regional Secretary for Ashanti Region, now Regional Secretary approved, Mr. Joseph Adongo. Next is the host Regional Secretary, Mr. Daniel Atakora. Then we have some heads of department from headquarters among us, but currently the head of ICT, yes, Mr. Emmanuel, is he around? Yeah. Then we also have head of audit, Mr. Kisile Mensah. Then we come to the institute, not IRRIS, where we are. First on the list is Mr. Steve Springer. He's a research fellow in the institute. Then we have the registrar of the Gnat IRRIS, Dr. Ajinin Obati. Then you are very lucky to have the president of the institute among us this morning. We have Professor Ado Oben among us. Then among us, all right, I've been told one of the head of department from our headquarters, Dr. Nicholas Taylor, is also around. Yes, he's at the corner there. Then we have from headquarters again, the Deputy General Secretary for Education and Professional Development, EPD. My brother, Mr. Moses Barman Amadou. Then we also have Deputy General Secretary for Administration and Labor Relations, Mr. Daniel Afedu. Youth. I could see on the high table that our chairman is also seated. Our chairman is also seated. Next to him is our Vice President of NAT, Madame Lucy Amanda Asamoah. Then Oga Anizilai, the head that wears the crown. We have our NAT president in a person of Reverend Owusu, also among us. We are expecting others to join us. As and when they come, we will introduce them to you. Thank you very much. MCs, you can continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cody. Thank you very much, Mr. Cody. We have just been joined by, please, can we have some silence? Can we have some silence, please? Can we have some silence, please? On the high table, we are joined by our national treasurer in the person of Mr. Loli. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. At this moment, I want to welcome I want to welcome Greater Accra Regional Youth Coordinator, Mr. Agbovo Jonathan, to continue the rest of the program.
Thank you very much, my Honorable Chairman for the Youth Dex, representing the Youth in National Council. Yes, we are. Can we have some sanity? Can we have some decor? Thank you very much. I want to humbly salute the high table for honoring our invitation and being here present with us. We say we are grateful to you, National President, National Vice, our national officers, and then our Deputy Regional Secretaries and all officers present. We are grateful to you for coming with us. I want to also be grateful to all participants here once again that we have had patience, we have traveled from far, and we are here today to accomplish a task and the purpose for which we have come. Thank you once again, and you are welcome. Next on our program. Next on our program is the welcome address. Gnat IRRIS President. We will now be seated quietly as we are refreshed by some water, and we'll invite the National President of our great union, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Gnat, to wake up or give us the welcome address. No, that is this one. Oh. All right. Please. There's just something we have to do here quickly here. All have been introduced, but we need the chairman of the program of the summit to accept the chair for us. Then we can move on. Thank you for the corrections here. So without much ado, I will humbly invite Miss Paulina Mensah Penny to do that for us. Please, shall we welcome her with a round of applause? Shall we welcome Madam Paulina with a very big round of applause as she mounts the podium to do that introduction for us. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure to see all of us gathered here today for this occasion. Before I proceed, let's take a moment to acknowledge the hard work and dedication of all the educators present and esteemed leaders who are here to grace this occasion. A round of applause for ourselves, please. Thank you. Today, we are honored to have with us a distinguished leader who has contributed immensely to the field of education. His vision, leadership, and commitment have been instrumental in shaping Gnat and supporting teachers like us. The chairman for today's occasion started his professional teaching training from Wesley College of Education, West School. At the West School Pants here for his diploma in education. He furthered his education for his post-diploma in education at the University of Education, Winneba. He proceeded to KNUST to pursue another degree in arts. He wasn't fair and he wasn't pleased with the unfair treatment to teachers. And that note, he thought of pursuing law to fight for the rights of teachers. By dint of hard work, he has been called to the bar and proceeded again to have a master's degree in law. He began his leadership in the role of Gnat as the local youth coordinator at Ebuaka Local, and then the district youth coordinator for Achoma, where I hail. So I'm pleased to introduce my own. He then later became the regional treasurer and contested as the youngest ever in the region to contest for the regional chairman position. He won and is currently the regional chairman for Ashanti region. He is currently the chairman for this occasion, the youth subcommittee. He is married with 4 kids. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to introduce to you our esteemed chairman, the gentleman of the moment, the gentleman of the moment, our chairman, my chairman, your chairman, everyone's chairman, Barema Prosper Kofi Tachi. Let's welcome with a standing ovation. Let's welcome with a standing ovation. P4P, the chairman of the moment, the man of the moment. Prosper ye bema pa, oh ye bema. Prosper ye bema pa, oh ye. Tachi ye bema pa, oh ye bema. Prosper ye bema pa, oh ye. Tachi ye bema pa, oh ye bema. Prosper ye bema pa, oh ye. Tachi ye bema pa, prosper ye bema pa. Tachi ye bema pa, Kofi ye bema pa. Yekwe, crow, crow, ya ye, crow, oye bema pia. Thank you very much, MC. Thank you so much,
Madam Paulina. We are super. Thank you very much. Another big round of applause for Madam Paulina for that wonderful, exuberant, youthful, exuberant, powerful introduction. We are grateful to you, Madam Paulina. God bless you. Can we be seated? Can we be seated? Without much ado, and without waiting much time, I want to call on the chairman introduced for this August occasion to accept the seat and give us a word. Thank you very much, our honorable chairman.
Thank you very much, my brother. Choboy! 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 Hey! Choboy!
Hey!
Arise, Ghana youth, for your
Country, the nation demands for devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong.
We are
all evolved. We are all evolved. We are all evolved.
in build our mother's land. Thank you very much. Resume your seat.
Thank you.
Youth. It's an honor this morning to find myself as I've indicated. It's an honor to find myself right in the midst of colleagues. Finally, we have come for the Youth Summit. There are a lot of things that went on behind the scenes. I personally received calls from some of our colleagues here on when the Youth Summit was coming on. But I want to state unequivocally that as a youth committee chairman, I report to my superiors, that is NEC, and the officers, and decisions are taken. But we kept on pressing until we received information that initially there was an agreement to have the summit after the National Delegates Conference. But we said no, we needed to have it before the conference. Even if it requires we meet again after conference, that meeting will come on. Today we have gathered here as youth. I know Professor Adoben will be welcoming you very soon, but it was a policy that came out in the year 2010 after a survey. I don't want to bore you with the history. And going forward, I'm happy to inform you that we have been able to produce a general secretary from the youth desk in the person of Mr. Thomas Musa. And we are hoping that when the time is ripe, maybe we will get a youthful or someone who served as a youth coordinator somewhere that we all aspire to be. Colleagues, in life, once we start from childhood, adolescent into adulthood, one of the pivotal stages in our lives as human is at the youthful stage. And it is at this stage that if care is not taken, if we are not guided, you make certain fundamental errors that we will turn back later in life to regret. I'm telling you this, colleagues. In our history as a nation, and even as Gnat, from when we broke away to form the Ghana National Association of Teachers on the 14th of July 1962, because we were not happy with the dealings of TUC under Dr. Nkrumah. You bear with me that whatever agitation, even the agitation that led to the birth of a union as Assisted School Teachers Union, was led by the youth. It's on record. Aside that, one of the greatest achievements of the union Gnat in the history of teacher education is the establishment of the Ghana Education Service, which in the year 1972, even on the 13th of January, when Colonel Ignatius Acheampong took away the government of Dr. Kufia Brefa-Buzia, we did not rest. We insisted. If you have studied history and you understand what transpired from even when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah took over, it's on record that under Nkrumah regime we had over 7-8 ministers of education, just because the minister could sit in the comfort of his office and order that teacher A is misbehaving, I don't like him, fire him, and that will be your end. And that was why even when in 1972, after the coup d'etat, we did not relent, but decided to push further to ensure there is an intermediary that will give us job security And in these agitations, demonstrations, and the military regime and the Chempo, it was led by the youth. And at the end of the day, in 1973, they listened to us. And by 1974, we had what we call the Ghana Teaching Service, now the Ghana Education Service. We can never underestimate the potency of the youth. We can never underestimate the potentials of the youth. It is at this stage that the brain is active. It is at this point that physically you are active. You are full of innovations. But at Wesco we were taught that whilst our youth is weak and what? Strong. Why are we weak? As young teachers, I don't know, some of us have been in the service for some time now. Once we are introduced into the service, I'm telling you today, teaching is not bad. Whoever tells you teaching is bad is a liar. You see, we shouldn't degrade ourselves to a level that others will see us as second-class citizens. It is our Teachers Fund. I don't want to use any other institution. Get to the Teachers Fund today and find out. You see young guys in Thai, what have you. How much are they earning? 800 Ghana cedis per month, 1,200. Even a teacher holding diploma in education, how much do you receive? But because we are weak at that point in time, that is the reason why we are unable to put our things to order. Whenever we come out of the colleges, we are employed as teachers, workers. I believe that at that point in time, most often than not, we are not married. So we turn our back to progress and decide to look into the family. Please. Then we tend to pick the entire family burden on ourselves instead of moving on with our life to get to a point where we can come and then support. At the end of the day, we move from one loan to the other. By the time we realize time is fast spent and we are filled with regret. And that is why I don't want such a thing to happen. Let's develop ourselves professionally. Let's move on. If you get to a point when you can support the family, so be it. If you are not married, you become a target in the family, even in the society. They will start asking, what are you doing?
Thank you very much, honorable, elegant, youthful, experienced chairman. I think he has spoken well to the house, a very shaking word, and a word that is carrying us into the future. We want to thank you once again for accepting to be in the chair for us for this all-important occasion. We are grateful. Please, shall we continue with our program? Next on our program, we want to invite a well-known man, an established man who hosted us here, where this institute has been established for us. The first cohort has come, the second cohort has been here, and the second section of it will also begin soon after we have left this place. The president of this noble institution that has been established for us in the person of the Professor Ado Obin, the president of the Gnat IRRIS, to give us the welcome address. Thank you very much, President. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. And good morning to you all. The chairman for today's function, the national president, the national vice president, let me simply say the executives on the high table. Mine is very simple: to welcome you to the campus of the Gnat Institute for Research and Industrial Relations Studies. This is an institution which has been set up by Gnat, and I mean by you, to perform certain functions. But the bottom line of it all is that this institute has been set up to ensure that Gnat members are upskilled, Gnat members acquire skills, Gnat members are able to further their education. And that is what we are doing. So I welcome you to this campus. I am informed that there's the Gnat Youth Wing. And I was very enthused when the chairman, in his acceptance address or note that he made, he emphasized the importance of the youth. But to be honest with you, I'm getting a bit disappointed with the youth in this country. And I will tell you why. We are becoming very partisan as youth. Politics has divided us, so we are not united in whatever we want. We are driven by money, so we lack discipline. Whatever we have to do to get money, that's what drives us. That's what drives us. So it's making us lose focus on how to lead our country. Our country needs the youth, yes. But the powers that be, the powers have been able to disperse the youth. So the youth cannot speak with one voice. I'm sure the purpose of setting up this Gnat Youth is to equip you, embolden you to champion not just the cause of the youth in NATO, but to champion the cause of the youth in Ghana. When you talk about teachers, we are the cream of the society. But look at what is happening to us. Nobody takes us seriously anytime we speak. The politicians have the platform. Where do we stand? Simply because we've lost the gem. And it's important for us to reclaim it. And if anybody is going to do it, any group, it is not youth. I remember when we were in school, in the primary school, we learned this rhyme. Good, better, best. May I never rest until my good is better and my better best. It still is very important to us. It still is very important to us now. You see, every human being, being disciplined, emotionally stable, critical, not just following voices, will become best. So my simple welcome message to you is not youth. Don't be complacent with where you are now. There is so much ahead of you to do. To in fact claim your own right, not just as teachers, but your right as the youth in this country. So I'm asking you, hard work, discipline, emotional stability, honesty, truthfulness. This should be the hallmark of Gnat Youth. This institute has been set up to inculcate such values in Gnat members. Gnat Institute will stand in solidarity with Gnat youth to enable you to reclaim our lost glory as teachers, to enable you become a voice that when you speak in this country, everybody will sit up and listen because you are talking sense. We will work with you to ensure that whatever objectives you've set for yourselves will be achieved, and achieved in a very, very glamorous way. I wish you well, and I welcome you to this campus. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Prof. We are indeed honored, and we are now at home since we have been welcomed by our landlord. At this moment, we'll have a short musical interlude. Then we'll continue from there. So media, kindly help us.
plenty point for the rest of the time. The last summit held in 2021 was also used to elect their representative to the National Council. For this year's summit, we are happy for the opportunity to meet under the theme GAS at 50, Youth as Catalyst for Advancing Teacher Motivation and Educational Excellence. As young teachers, we believe we are the catalyst for many great decisions and achievements over the years by leadership. We are grateful for many successes chalked. We are also grateful for the youth policy. We were made to understand that the policy is undergoing a review, and that after completing, we will gather here next year for the policy validation before it is presented to the National Council for approval. Notwithstanding the above, we recognize that the 4-year cycle to meet for the summit is not inscribed in the Gnat Constitution, nor has it found an expression in the policy. We will humbly request that it is given a prominent place somewhere to form the basis for justifying our gathering. We also wish to request that, like the NATLAS Roundtable, the Youth Summit should also be held in the districts and the regions before the National Summit. Hello. Again, we would like the leadership to address the issue of electing the youth representative to the National Council. Whether the vacancy created should be filled at the national subcommittee level by only 10 regional reps or at the summit. We will be grateful if the 8 memoir and the NATEC will take an interest and come out with modalities. With the agitation on the age limit for NAT youth, we wish to request the National Executive to take that decision with guidance of research. They should look at the average minimum age for entering the service, the age level at which one can transition to become a district secretary and also hold a sensitive elected position such as a district chairman who serves for the National Council. They should also reflect on the number of members that will be transitioned from the youth group into no specific identifiable group in the association if a cutoff age is set without research backing it. Mr. Chairman, we are happy to hear that the youth policy review is underway. We all agree that the key policy areas need a serious upgrade. We request that ICT and research feature prominently in the professional needs of the young teacher. We are looking forward to a collaboration between the ICT department and the IRRIS, our institute, rolling out constant virtual training for our youth. Mr. Chairman, most of the coordinators took advantage of the positions advertised and stood for the youth coordinator's position without much knowledge of the policy document and what it entails. Some have not seen copies of the policy. And so, after this section, we will be meeting in this very hall after lunch, where the consultant will take them through some key policy issues, and they will draw an action plan for the next year, 2026, using the five-year strategic plan. Once again, we thank the leadership for the opportunity. We pledge our support for their activities. As youth coordinators, we have also resolved to enroll in the Gnat Provident Fund to encourage all youth in our district to buy into it. Report writing. From our discussion yesterday, it was agreed to move away from narrative reporting to data-driven reporting. However, we need more training in accurate data collecting and reporting. Counseling. Mr. Chairman, youths need counseling services. We face relationship and marital issues. Some are into alcohol and betting. And as a result, our pay slips are always negative. They take loans and put into betting. We need to be guided out of these issues. We therefore look forward to this summit to offer solutions to the youth. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, our National Youth Coordinator, Mr. Samuel Cody, for that powerful speech on our behalf of the youth decks. We want to continue. I am happy once again to state that our youth summit has been purposefully introduced to us while we are here, and things are taking shape. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to introduce to you a man in the top hierarchy of our noble union. Anytime I stand to introduce this man, sometimes I find myself jittery because he has played a role in making me to stand before you today. This man has trained me all the way in Greater Accra, in the district called Accra Metro West. I have worked with him personally for 6 good years as a district youth coordinator. He has rolled on from there to become a regional secretary. Today, this man is a deputy general secretary. I have no singular pleasure to introduce to you our noble man, a man who speaks with volume and value, Mr. Daniel Afedu, the Deputy Regional Secretary who is stepping the shoes of the General Secretary in charge of administration and regional relations. Sir, you are welcome.
Thank you, Jonathan, for the Mr. Chairman, the National President, the President of the Institute, the Vice President, our guest speaker, my colleague, Deputy General Secretary, staff, both headquarters and region, our media and gallant youth of the Ghana National Association of Teachers. My information is that we have we are supposed to have 132 youth, district youth coordinators and 10 regional youth coordinators, making 142. We thank you. For the General Secretary, who himself was a youth coordinator, would have wished to be with you at least to fraternize and to speak with you. And as you are aware, because of the preparation towards the National Delegate Conference, there are so many activities, and it has made it impossible for him to be here. He has, however, asked me to extend his felicitations to you and also to wish you a successful conference. And like he told the ladies last week, anytime he was just about 1 hour he has to leave. So today too, maybe he may come before we close. So he has always thanked all of us for the good job we are doing. If the districts and the regions are not there, we have nothing like headquarters. So we are grateful to you for the good job that you are doing for the association, and we want to ask you to continue to do more, because somebody say the youth are the future of the association, but some of us feel you are the current leader, because whatever we do today will give us the future that we want. So if you're a young person and you have come to Gnat and you are a youth coordinator, when Mr. Cody was reading his address, he said some of us didn't even know the role of the youth coordinator, yet we picked a form and contested for the position, and we are now youth coordinators. Quite debatable, but it is important that if you pick a position, you want to ask yourself, this position, this youth coordinator position, what is it about? And what can I do to ensure that I live to that expectation? Colleagues, teaching, as the chairman said, is not bad per se, but sometimes those of us who are practitioners have sometimes given people the impression to think so. I believe that each of us sitting here has a future they want to build. One, career. Ghana Education Service, whether you like it or not, has a very few positions for so many people. Now we are fighting for deputy directors, that those who have there for some time, we should give them automatic, or we're even going to director 2. I was discussing with a friend that when we do that, in the next 5 years, we'll come back to the same problem. Because we have a few positions for only a few people, for so many people. We are told the attitude test that we are going to write next week, we are about 80-something thousand people that are going to write the exam. And if they decide to even pass 70%, that alone translates to a number. Even 10% fail is a good number. So we are working in an environment which is very competitive. And in such competitive environment, you can only go through and make progress with self-determination and preparation. So what do we want to do career-wise? Thank God you are young people. At least Gnat offers opportunity both at the political level and administrative level. The Ghana Education Service that you find yourself in also has progress. I've been asking, how do people get promoted to Ghana Education Service? Do we give to people whose noses are big, or give to those who are short, or those who are tall? You agree with me that it is purely on performance. So please, my advice for you is that take up whatever you want to do. Teaching is something that you can do. Now they said in the report, we heard that the chairman's introduction, he's a lawyer. He's a teacher and a lawyer. Which means that we are teachers, we can go into so many areas that we want. What do we even become professors like Prof. Adrobin? What do we have for ourselves? So I want to challenge all of us that we should have a plan for our lives. In the next 5 years, I'll be here. 6 years, I'll be here. 10 years, I'll be here. 20 years, I'll be here. Including the marriage that we spoke about. Because some of us, the marriage we don't plan. We get some girl, we impregnate. Beginning life is fine. So we are going. Then as the children begin to come, the woman is not doing it. Maybe she sells kenke or maybe sells Kofi Brokman. Do you know Kofi Brokman? Yes. So the whole capital is just about 200 or 500 or let's say 1,000. The child brings a school fees of 5,000. Me to the loan that we took for the other one to go, we have not finished paying. This one too has come. It's bringing stress on us. So at least, if our wife is also doing something, at least they will complement. All these are things that we should be thinking about. Then in our areas, some of us will go to school. When we even want to do free extra classes, the student will not come. So by 2 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., you have closed. From 2 or 3 or 4 to 6 to 7, what do you do? In the community that you find yourself, in the environment, what can you do to add some income to what you have? So there's not everything that we go to Teachers Fund to take a loan. Some of us, when we even want to marry, we want to take a loan to go and marry. Some decisions that we take can cause us the rest of our lives. So I would wish to admonish that in our areas, let us get people to come and talk to us, counselors, come and talk to us about relationships and all those ones. But my view is on the entrepreneurial skills. There are some of the communities you go, mobile money is handled by the teachers. And they have a lot of money. Some are into farming. So you look at your area, which one can you do? And you do something, and through the Teachers Fund, what do we call? Investment capital loan, you can do something to yourself. And you see that when you get that money, you can easily progress in your career. You want to do another degree, maybe first degree, you haven't done it, you want to do a master's. Even after master's, you want to veer into other areas, other law, other any area. You want to do MPhil, do PhD. You need money to do that. But if you want to rely only on the salary, you might not. So when you do those things, as you are getting more money, then you are developing yourself and you'll be a better person. And you, the youth coordinator in the district, if you are doing it, then you will be an example for the other young people to also follow. So let us not only be youths, let us be youths that are purposeful. And because you are the future leaders, in the next 10, 15 years, you are going to be the national president, the deputy general secretaries, the general secretaries, and all that. And we need to prepare ourselves to be able to get into that areas. On that note, Mr. Chairman, I wouldn't want to take much of their time. I want to challenge them that in the next 4 years, if any of them is going for a second term, that person will say that I am better off than last 4 years when I stood. Chairman, but one observation that I'm so sad about is I scanned through the 142 and I'm not sure I can even get 10 women. They are not last time. But we say youth. So maybe next time, the few women here, I'm admonishing that you campaign hard so that we can get a lot of our women to join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy General Secretary. we are grateful for stepping in the shoes of the General Secretary to give us this short speech. We are getting extremely to the middle part of this program, and all important of it all. But before I do that, let me just give this gist of announcement. By my check, when you look at those online, we are streaming live, and it's just about 24 people online so far. It's now 34. So please, I want to engage all of us to share the links. Let's send the link back to our local youth coordinators. Wherever they are, they can also be following what you are standing in here to do for them. We beg you, it's very important. Let's share the links. Let's share the links. Thank you very much on that score, so that our media will also know that they are working for us. Let's quickly do that. We will have to invite, the summit needs to be officially opened and launched for us. On this note, we want to invite
the president to give us a speech.
Our national president of the noble association we have, Ghana National Association of Teachers, Gnat, to give us a word. In the person of Mr. Reverend Isaac Owusu. National President, you are welcome.
Don't get confused. What you are doing is okay. Greater Accra Youth Commander. I believe you are doing well.
Sure, by His grace.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. Colleagues, good morning to you all. I believe we are doing well. Yes. At a point in time, I thought, I was asking myself whether we are in a youth summit or on a campaign grounds. Which one are we doing? Both. You see, Chair, I duly recognize members on the high table. But let me be frank with you, brothers and sisters. This is one of the important forums for us as organization, and it cannot be a campaign ground. You see, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We are a professional organization, and there is a reason why our forefathers took importance of the NATLAS and the youth. I think when Chairman was giving this open remark, he made mention of the leadership at headquarters having in mind of having this summit after the National Delegate Conference. I have been the chairman for all meetings, and I don't know who gave that information to the chairman, that our summit will come after the National Delegate Conference. I am telling you on authority, as a chairman for National Officers Meeting, the chairman for the National Executive Meeting, and the chairman of the National Council Meeting. In that, staff don't take decisions. It is the political people who take decisions. So if anybody here gave anybody information that the youth summit could have come off after the National Delegate Conference, personally, I disassociate myself from such message. Colleagues, this is very important forum. I am not the guest speaker. Dr. Linus will come and talk to you. But I just want us
to reflect our minds why our members have given us the opportunity to serve as youth coordinators. In Gnat, we are called members with equal rights and equal responsibilities. I have been where you were before. I work as a national subcommittee chairman for the youth. 2017, then I exited 2022, and my brother Prosper took over from me. So we've been there before. The General Secretary, Thomas Tanko Musa, used to be my coordinator. Colleagues, in the next 4 years, as young educators, what can we do to help make our union vibrant? As for complaints and challenges, if I ask region by region the challenges that are confronting us, we will not even close. We know our problems. Now, it's like Gnat has become the employer. Every challenge of a teacher, most especially Gnat members, are on the head of Gnat. The Ghana Education Service as employer doesn't even suffer as Gnat used to suffer. Colleagues, as you have come together to ponder upon the work that you have done for the years, my admonition to all of you is that before we all leave here today or tomorrow, what resolution are we sending to the National Delegate Conference for its adoption? We complain the dues we bring back to you in the form of grant are woefully inadequate. And indeed, but as individual, as a young educator, what can you do for yourself? These are some of the things that we need to be pondering on and looking at how we can help ourselves. As for Gnat politics, last week the General Secretary was here and he made a statement that don't allow yourself for anyone to use your hand to catch a snake. Not even Reverend. Don't allow yourself for the national president to use your hand to catch a snake. Because if you are not careful, the snake can bite your hand. It is good to come together. And I know that by the close of this summit, all of us will be on the same level. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. President, once again. We want to move to the next item on the program. We want to move to the next item on the program at this moment. So at this moment, I'll call upon Asante Regional Youth Coordinator, Mr. Ebenezer Ajaman, to come and introduce our guest speaker to us. Shall we welcome him with a hand of applause? Oh, Asante Regional Youth Coordinator, put your hands together and welcome him, please. Commander, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. For want of time, I want to stand on the existing protocol and then proceed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today's program, a man whose contribution towards research, education, and policy has shaped the national discourse. He is a seasoned scholar, a seasoned researcher, and a consultant. He is currently into academia, and I must say that at this very minute, we are most indeed honored to have him. Good. Yes, thank you very much once again. And to go back, I must say that he is the director, the current director of what? Gnat IRRIS, the very premise that we find ourselves in. His professional journey has centered on strengthening research, practice, and promoting evidence-based decision-making throughout training, supervision, and advisory support. His expertise spans research methodology, data management, statistical analysis, and policy formulation. Beyond academia, he has been a strong advocate for improved rural education policy frameworks in Ghana, making him not just a researcher, but a voice for equity in educational system. He is a published scholar with several peer-reviewed publications and authored books, and continuing to inspire through his commitment to excellence in research and education. Ladies and gentlemen, at this very minute, with a standing ovation, shall we welcome Dr. Linus Tando. Thank you.
Oh, please, kindly take your seats, please. Mr. Chairman, the National President, please do permit me to write on the existing protocols. But just a little disclaimer from the introduction. I am not the director of Gnat IRRIS. I'm fortunate I'm the director of research at Gnat IRRIS. I'm privileged to have my boss, my father, my mentor, who is the president of Gnat IRRIS, Reverend Professor Emmanuel Adobe, and I also have my registrar here. So I have strong backing behind me, and when I fall, my fathers are here. Mr. Chairman, today for me marks a very critical moment for us as young teachers. We are the foundation of education. And when Prof spoke, he challenged us as young people. I always assume that the young teacher is the heartbeat and the custodian of the future of education. What it technically means is that the kind of future we are building for our educational sector starts with us today. And by extension, the kind of association we are leaving behind starts with us today. I also want to thank you so much for inviting me to speak on your team. I'm humbled. Please, can I get a slide? Can you put it in the presentation mode here? whilst we wait for them, please, can I humbly know by hands how many are in their first term as youth coordinators, just by hands? First term. Okay. And then, please, can we know those who are in their second term? Okay. So, Mr. Chairman, what it then means is that you have more than half of the coordinators being new. And I think whilst the national coordinator was speaking, he raised issues about what I call the representative responsibility. You are here to represent the youth. And for me, I believe that it's very important you understand that representative responsibility. You are not here to represent yourself, but you are here to represent that large group of Gnat. And I believe that in coming for this summit, you had the opportunity to engage the people you are here to represent. I want to believe that whilst coming here, you had the opportunity to engage with the people you are here to represent, so that the resolutions and ideas that you bring in here will not be issues based on your views and opinions, but issues based on the needs, expectations, and aspirations of the people you are here to represent. Please, whilst we wait for them, let's just do some simple simulation exercise. What motivated, particularly those in their first term as youth coordinators, what motivated you to pick up the position of a youth coordinator? Please, just raise your hands and speak to us. What motivated you to pick up the position of a youth coordinator?
Thank you very much, Doc. I think my name even defined myself as a youth. I'm called Mr. Young. In fact, I was motivated during my local conference where being the youth, I organized a keep fit training for both the teachers in the community, the senior high, and other staff. But then I saw that the direction of the teachers, the teacher in our community, was silent.
Please, let's be silent and listen to him, please.
It was silent in a way that we were lacking teachers, and the way our district teachers were maltreated, especially the youth.
So in one sentence, what motivated you?
Me, that is why I'm saying, the way teachers were handled in a negative manner,
okay,
that prompted me to come in as a mouthpiece,
okay,
to defend my youth or the teachers within my area.
Okay. So for him, the problem he identified had to do with the manner in which teachers were being handled. Okay. Any other reasons you pick up the position as a youth coordinator?
Thank you very much. I am Mark Abubiri, Bolga Municipal Youth Coordinator. What actually motivated me
Hello,
is that...
sir. Please, with the greatest respect, one of the skills we need as young educators is the ability to listen. Very critical. Very, very critical. So please, let's pay attention whilst our colleague speaks, please.
What motivated me is that I believe that as a youth, we are the backbone of every institution or any gathering. And as a youth, always being active and participating in every youth activity, I realized that we, the youth, had the energy and had the ability to move or change the direction of our union. It was a perception that Gnat is for the old. But I realized that if we, the youth, come in, we can make that change that will make Gnat an attractive union for we, the youth, to come.
So for you, one of the reasons that motivated you is in making Gnat more attractive, you pick up that role.
Yes.
So we'll come back to this at the preliminary. I think we have our slides now. So
thank you.
So I'm to speak on the theme GS at 50, Youth as Catalyst for Advancing Teacher Motivation and Educational Excellence. And I just want you to pause for a minute and look at the screen. What do you see? The image. What do you see? What do you see? The image there, or the photo. What do you see? Can someone? Yes, madam.
A lady smiling and a man who has frowned his face.
Thank you. Madam is saying that she sees a woman smiling and a man who has frowned the face. The focus for me is the smiles on the face of the young teacher. Please, let's listen. This is a newly recruited young teacher entering the profession with so much passion. You can see the joy on her face. Oh, look at that. So, with the team, I have just a simple outline. Why is this team so timely? And for me, this is the best time to have this team. GS at 50 will reflect, renew, and look at the future of education. Then, whilst the National Youth Coordinator was talking, he mentioned issues of conceptual clarity regarding who at all is a youth. We'll look at the youth and the young teacher, the conceptual clarity there. Then, most importantly, why must we focus on the young teacher from the team? Why must we focus on the young teacher? Then, we also look at teacher motivation and professional identity. When we talk about the pride of the teaching profession, what does it mean? And who holds that responsibility when it comes to sustaining the pride of the teaching profession? Then we also look at motivation gaps facing the young teacher in Ghana. And then we'll look at the young teacher as a catalyst. We are all teachers, and we know what we mean by catalyst. We'll look at that, and then we'll look at call for action after this summit. Why is the team so timely? Why it matters now is that GS is 50 years old. Please, I think someone is controlling the... GS is 50 years old. Why the team matters, but the future of Ghana's education is standing in this room. We are talking about 50 years of GS. But when we talk about the future of Ghana's education 50 years from now, where is that future? And for me, the future is in this room. The decision. I'm just trying to tell you why this team matters. When a young teacher loses motivation, what happens? The classroom loses inspiration. The learner loses opportunity. and the nation loses potential. If we are motivated, education rises. If we are discouraged, excellence declines. And look at the theme. We are talking about motivation and educational excellence. Be looking at the link. GS at 50 is not just a celebration of the past. It is a test of the future. And the future starts with us here. Now, GS at 50, before we can move beyond GS at 50, we must reflect regarding how far we've come as far as GS at 50 is concerned. Now, we talk about education as the key. If education is the key to development, my question is, who holds that key for the Ghanaian child? Nelson Mandela talked about the fact that education is the greatest tool we can use to change the world, which then means that education is the greatest key we can use to open opportunities. And my question to you here is, who holds that key? For me, it is that young teacher, which is you here. As GS marks 50 years, it is time to unlock the truth. As we commiserate GS at 50, it is only right that we applaud the effort that have shaped our educational journey. We talk about access, and today we have more people in school. What about quality? What about quality? We look at that. However, we must also confront the life realities of young teachers, the very individuals upon whose shoulders the entire system rests. At 50, the question is not only what GS has achieved, but how it can be repositioned. And in repositioning GS, we have to first rethink, reorient, and reprioritize. And that is what you are here to do as young teachers, since the future of the education sector rests with you. I have 6 reflective questions regarding GS at 50. 1, for GS at 50, what condition is the teaching profession in now? Is it energized or exhausted? 2, how many young teachers walk into the classroom full of passion, but whose passion is gradually fading? 3, what happens to educational excellence when the young teacher feels invisible, unheard, or undervalued? 4, if the future of Ghana depends on today's learners, and today's learners depend on today's young teachers, who is taking care and listening to the voice of the young teacher? 5, are young teachers shaping, and this is where we as catalysts, as change agents come in, no matter the challenges confronting the system. Are young teachers shaping the educational system, or are we quietly adjusting to a system that is wearing us down? What interventions are we putting in the midst of the challenges that confront us? When motivation dies early in a teacher's career, does excellence ever truly recover? We'll look at that. Who is a young teacher? Who is a young teacher? Youthfulness is not about a fixed age. It is a transition. But unfortunately, globally, there is a lack of conceptual clarity regarding who at all constitutes a youth. And we have defined the youth quantitatively using statistics in terms of age. The UN defines a youth as a person aged between 15 to 24 years. And globally, we have about 1.2 billion youths currently constituting about 16% of the world's population. And in the history of the world, this is the time we are having the highest proportion of the youths. That is why the future of the world depends on us today. In Africa, a youth has been defined as someone in the age range of 15 to 35. And the National Youth Policy of Ghana has adapted the Africa Youth Charter's definition as somebody aged between 15 to 35 years. In Gnat, who is a youth? Now, one of the assessments that we did, we observed that in the case of Gnat, you have not necessarily used age as a definition of a youth, but you have rather used new entrants as the basis of your definition of a youth. And you define a new entrant as somebody aged between 0 to 3 years in the teaching profession. But these are issues that require deeper reflection and assessment, whether they reflect the broader and the global dynamics. So you see this young man. This is a young teacher. You can see him in tie, but he's teaching on a white, a blackboard using chalk. But this young teacher was taught from college that he has to be a role model to the young teacher, to the young child in school. So he's coming to the classroom with what? A tie. But the question is, how is the environment? Whether the environment is conducive for him to dress that decently that he could become a role model to the young teacher. Why must we focus on the young teacher? Why must we focus on the young teacher? Young teachers form the fastest growing segment of the population, and I've talked about that. Young teachers are the backbone of today's classrooms and the leaders of tomorrow's educational system. Why are young teachers the backbone of today's classroom and the leaders of tomorrow's educational system? I need a response. From the presentation so far, we are talking about why we must focus on the young teacher. And my question is, why are young teachers the backbone of today's classrooms and the leaders of tomorrow's educational system? Can I get one response? Please, someone should help me. Why are we the backbone of the educational system and the leaders of tomorrow? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Razak from Wenchi. I think the young teacher is the backbone because we are the majority and we are full of innovative ideas that can propel the association, the union or the teaching profession.
So he's talking about the fact that we have energy and our energy is coming as a result of our numbers. What it then means is that if you want to break and change the educational system, you as an individual young teacher cannot change the system. You can only change the system by working together collectively as young teachers with one voice. Let's pick the last one. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you for the opportunity.
Please go ahead, yeah.
Okay, all right, so biologically, I would say backbone is a framework to which so many organs are connected to. So likewise, as youth, it is obvious that students and so many other stakeholders in our educational system is connected to the youth. And we will be with it until the end. Just like how the backbone biologically will be with the human being. Once that is collapsed, you realize that the human being himself will definitely collapse.
So what Senior is saying is that we have more years to spend as far as our work as teachers is concerned. And what it then means that whatever we do would affect the number of years and even after we have left the profession. Senior, you want to come in the last one? Yeah.
Thank you. I was also going to say that the youths lives in three transitions or generations. You are with your elders, you are in the middle, and you will progress to the next. So once you are a youth today, you know what happened yesterday, you know what is happening today, and so you will be able to inform the next generation on what they have to do. So it means that one they are going to progress seriously.
Thank you so much, Senior. What it then means is that although we teach with a cohort of the middle age, today we are talking about the 21st century teacher. And normally our fathers and teachers will tell us we are born before computers. What it then means is that all the experiences that they have had, you are privileged to learn from them. And what is currently happening, you are more positioned to address the issues happening based on what they have learned, which you are learning from them. What it then means is that as young teachers, you cannot succeed without pulling the elderly among you or with you. The youth cannot succeed without letting the elderly mentor you, because what they have seen, you haven't seen that. And if you pick what you are seeing today with what they have seen, you become a grounded teacher. One of the reasons we must focus on the young teacher is that the young teacher is very energetic. The young teacher is very innovative. We are talking about the 21st century teacher. The young teacher is very creative. The young teacher must be digitally intelligent. So the question is, if these are the attributes of the young teacher, do you possess these attributes as a young teacher? Or you are waiting for the system to embed these attributes in you? The system will not wait for you. And I want to challenge you that the kids we teach today are more intelligent than us. The kids we are teaching today are more intelligent than us. What it then means is that if we want to keep our pride as young teachers, we must be very, very creative and keep learning every day. Keep learning every day. Now, yet many of you face frustrations early in your careers. When we invest in the dreams, energy, and passion of the young teacher today, we secure the future of every child, every classroom, and the future of Ghana. Motivation. When we talk about motivation, what do we mean? Motivation is not only about money. It's not only about the salary that you received. Motivation for the young teacher includes professional respect. When my father was talking, my mentor, Prof, was talking, what kind of respect do we command in our communities as young teachers? When they talk about those impregnating the young ones, is it the teachers or the community? The kind of respect we are talking about start with us. Career progression, professional growth, and voice in decision making. Mr. Chairman, if we are talking about the young teachers as the future of the educational sector, what it then means is that we cannot develop educational policies without informing them and involving them. The people to drive the policies must be part of the process in designing and developing these policies. But what is the current situation in our educational sector? Please just look at the diagram there. What do you see? You see cracks. So these are the cracks in our educational system. And you see that the cracks are at the foundation. And you are the foundation. So the question is, if it will take us to build the foundation, and the foundation we are already meeting, there are cracks, what are the implications for us as young teachers? This is where your role as a catalyst comes in. This is where you must not just meet the system as it is, but change the system as you've met it. The realities of teacher motivation in Ghana, due to these cracks, currently we are having high attrition. Look at that young teacher from the cover page who entered the profession with so much passion. Now many of them are leaving. About 20% of new teachers leave the profession in the first 3 years. And rural teacher attrition ranges from 15 to 20% annually. They enter with so much passion, but the system drives them away. Now, this is a survey done in 2024 in one district. I will not mention the district. Majority of teachers surveyed in that district, that's about 64%, 6 out of 10, plan not to remain in their roles as teachers and look for opportunities to quit the profession. Now, let me share some statuses with you regarding attrition. International migration of teachers. In 2023 alone, over 10,000 Ghanaian teachers were certified to work in the UK, with more than 16,000 applications submitted earlier that year, and this from NTC. We must reserve teacher attrition by reconnecting policy ideals and classroom realities. It is not that the people are leaving because they do not like teaching, but they are leaving because we are not listening to them. We are not involving them to know the realities on the ground. And Mr. Chairman, that is why we cannot sit in Accra and develop policy for someone in a rural area when you don't know the dynamics there. We talk about the need to bring everyone on board as young teachers because we need numbers. But unfortunately, from an equity perspective, we are leaving behind one of the cohorts among us, which is the young teacher with special needs. If we are talking about the fact that we can only change the system with our numbers, then we need everyone on board. But who is speaking for the young teacher with special needs? And let me give you a quote from one of the young teachers with special needs. We have poured our heart into supporting children with special educational needs. But who is listening? Who is caring for the young teacher silently battling his or her own special needs? So, Mr. Chairman, when it comes to developing policies on special education, we only focus on the child with special needs, ignoring the teacher who will train that child with special needs as well. So look at the realities. Look at the system that we work in. But what are the resultant effects? Looking at the realities of our educational sector. They thought with hearts, but many left with heartbreaks. And you can see the aircraft. Some of the young teachers are leaving, and our classrooms are becoming empty. The question is, if we all leave, what kind of a country are we building when we return? From silent deaths to silent departures, Ghana's classrooms are losing not just teachers, but hope. When over 10,000 say greener pastures abroad, 100 more are lost to illness and stress, it is no longer just a motivation gap, it is a national alarm. And Mr. President, Chairman, the issues facing the educational sector should be seen as a national alarm. And you have the opportunity here to represent over 260,000 teachers in this room. So please, whatever decision you take here, consider the ordinary poor teacher out there. Take away your politics. Take away your politics. I know, Mr. Chairman, President, sorry, I know you are in your electoral process. But when it comes to issues affecting the education sector, please take away politics. When we talk about the youth as catalysts, what does it mean? We've already seen the cracks in the foundation, and we are the foundation. And this is where our role as young teachers come in. If we are saying that we are being the focus of the education sector because we are energetic, then we can start building and rebuilding the foundation that is cracking and collapsing. So youth as change agents, not passive recipients. So you don't come to the classroom and complain because the system is there. But how are you changing the system, even with the little resources you have? Using collective voice, driving innovation at the school and community level. But the teacher catalyst, a catalyst does not wait for permission. A catalyst starts the change. Being young is not a weakness. It is energy, it is creativity, it is courage, and it is numbers. When youth organize, the system shifts. When the youth speak with one voice, leaders listen. That is why you alone cannot change the system. When the youth act collectively, history moves, and the future will not be handed to us. We must build it. We must build the future. As a young catalyst, how are you driving innovation at the school and community level? And I have these questions for you. Are you shaping the classrooms of tomorrow, or just repeating what is already being done as a young teacher? And now we are already talking about the problems are there, but as a catalyst, how are you changing the system? How are you using your energy, your creativity, and fresh ideas to solve real challenges for learners and in your community? When they are looking for people that are respectable in your community, are you the one they will look up to? When the youth groups in churches, in our mosques, are looking for people to talk to, are you the young teacher they will bring on board, or you are the one they will point at? Are you leading in bridging traditional teaching with 21st century learning skills? I talk about that the young teacher cannot survive without equipping yourself with the 21st century learning skills, because the children we are teaching today are far ahead of us. Now, in terms of modeling professionalism, ethics, and excellence, I have some few catalyst questions for you. Are your actions inspiring the next generation to dream bigger, work harder, and act with integrity? Even in the face of challenges, are you showing the courage and dedication that defines a truly great teacher? When you behave professionally as a teacher, the society listens, government respects, and negotiations succeed. Your leaders will not go and do negotiations when you are already creating so much problems for them. That will be difficult. They will not succeed. Every action you take in class, online, in public, in your private, either raises or lowers the image of the profession. So your role as a young teacher is not only limited to the classroom. Whatever you do in your private settings, whatever you do when you go online, whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, would either raise or diminish the kind of pride we are talking about as far as the teaching profession is concerned. Now, what is the way forward? Call to action for the government. Mr. Chairman, I want to also plead that in the last 4 years, I made this request that when it comes to such, and President, when it comes to such great platforms, let's involve the policymakers to be part of this platform so that they listen to us in terms of our needs. We are talking about GS at 50, and I'm sure in 10 years we'll be celebrating GS at 60. GS at 60 must not be another reflection. It must be a revolution. And that revolution starts with you. Let's make GS a professional pride, not a career compromise. Government must improve the status and working conditions of teachers. Government must support beginning teachers' induction and mentoring, and then give the young teacher the space to shape educational policy. Nat, what is your role? Advocate for a rural education policy. Review the youth policy. Develop a Nat youth entrepreneurship policy. If we are saying that the youth are very creative, they are very innovative, then let's develop them into chichapreneurs. Partner with ICT agencies to implement what I call the Natlas Can Code projects. We have only 4 women out of 142. Okay, 6. So the question is, when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and please, if we talk about the youth, there are youth in Natlas. And if we are talking about the numbers, then you cannot succeed as young teachers without working closely with Natlas. And we are challenging you to develop what I call the Natlas Can Code projects, where young teachers will go into robotics, will go into coding. Promote the integration of pedagogies that incorporate digital learning, because we are talking about the 21st century teacher, and encourage the formation of youth clubs. What about you as a young teacher? What is your role? We've talked about the government, we've talked about NATS. What is your role? Today I challenge you, do not be silent. Do not be passive. Do not wait for someday. Join the call to action. Speak up, but respectively. Organize strategically, and teach with excellence. The future of teaching in Ghana depends on what you do after this summit. The future of our educational system depends on what you will do as a young teacher after this summit. My conclusion. GS is 50 years, but Ghana's future is still young, because we are in the majority and the future depends on us. If young teachers rise, education rises. If young teachers are motivated, Ghana progresses. Let history record that when the movement came, youth coordinators of NAT stood up. And with the greatest humility, can we sing Arise Ghana Youth? Madam, can you help us with the song?
My voice is bad.
Arise Ghana Youth for your country. Ready, sing. Arise Ghana Youth for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. Oh, we are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Oh, we are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland.
God bless you, God bless you, God bless you.
A mighty God clap. Please, let's. With a standing ovation, let's be on our feet. Let's be on our feet. Please, let's be on our feet. Let's be on our feet. And clap and thank. Oh, please, let's clap. Thank you. Doctor, we are so grateful. Youth. Take your seat. Resume your seat, please. We want to get to the next stage of the program. And that is the formal opening of the summit. So at this moment, we want to invite our national president to come and do us the honor for the opening of the ceremony this morning.
Thank you very much. Chair, I believe having listened to the Gnat physician, Dr. Linus, he has indeed given us enough food for our deliberation when it comes to the second half of the program. And so on that note, on behalf of the entire membership, most especially the young educated, I formally declare the 2025 National Youth Summit duly open. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much. At this moment, we want to welcome our national officers who are in our midst, that if they have any word of advice for us, we want to receive it from them now.
For Kofi, Treasurer, we are two among over here, so I'm sure that I can stand in for us, right? Right, thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, the National President, and also the President of Gnat IRRIS, Professor Dobing, Dr. Linus, the deputies, doctor, registrar, auditor, distinguished youth. Please, good morning to you all. I am enthused this morning. The reason being that, at least as far as I'm concerned, all those who have mounted the podium to speak to you this morning are males. And so, in the wisdom of the program planners, they have put it there that national officers too should give an advice. And per seniority, as you already saw me conferring with my treasurer, per seniority, the mantle has fallen on me as the female. And it is important that you also listen to the feminine side. And so I really want to thank you for this opportunity. I have only 2 remarks to make, and it's very, very crucial. Sometimes when I speak, I know people listen to me, but they'll be looking at you and your personality without taking cognizance of exactly the point that you want to make. I want to crave your indulgence this morning. Now, don't look at my personality. Please listen. Thank you. This is the Youth Summit. And per your theme that Doctor has already done justice to, I'll speak to only 2 items that I find in your theme. I find teacher motivation and educational excellence. This, in your theme, also drives us as, 1, a professional body, and also a trade union group. As we are here, we came on the score of being GES workers. Yes or yes? And on that score, that is our professional body group that we belong to. In the other breath, we are here as youth coordinators because we are trade unionists. Yes or yes? Okay, at least I know I'm 31 years in GES. 31. And so any teacher who wants to get the attention of your students, you know exactly what to do. And as Doctor did the assimilation, I'm sure that we are together, right? Great. In teacher motivation, in GES, what kind of motivation can GES give you as a professional body? My personal philosophy about motivation, because we are supposed to give you advice. My personal philosophy about teacher motivation. There are 2 kinds of motivation. One is intrinsic and one is extrinsic. In the intrinsic motivation, for example, GES can give you the resources that you need to go into the classroom to deliver. If you need, let's say, a lesson planner, if you need a marker, these are the resources that GES can give you to motivate you to go into the classroom to deliver as a professional body. However, in terms of giving you advice, I will digress from what GES can give you in your intrinsic motivation and go into your extrinsic motivation. GES might be limited, but you are never limited. If you want to take the bull by the horn, to develop yourself and be driven by your extrinsic motivation, your story can never remain the same, and nobody can point to you as a poor teacher. It is a choice and a language. I do not want anybody to address me as a poor teacher, because I am not. Ask me why. You are a versatile human being. The fact that you are a teacher. The teacher can digress yourself to become a politician. Yes or yes? The teacher can digress yourself to become a physician. Yes or yes? The teacher is versatile, and you can digress yourself and metamorphose yourself into so many things, taking advantage of your own professional development. So listen to me, my dearies. Hello. I sat under the feet of a motivational speaker called Dr. Emmanuel Died to me. You might have heard his name in the circles. In 2001 at the University of Education Kumasi campus then, now Amstead. When Emmanuel Died to me came to our campus, he used his own life story and told us how he was a shoemaker at Legon campus, shining the shoes of the professors and the doctors who were on campus at Legon. One of the professors, he told him that you could become an educator or who he is today by transforming your shoe shining of the professors and the doctors by taking on a certificate course or a diploma course. Do you agree? And he said that he agreed. He started as a certificate holder. He moved on to become a diplomat. He moved on to become a first degree holder. He did his master's, and as of the time that he was speaking to us, he was a PhD holder. And so, the transitional period, and I remember I'm giving you the word as a versatile teacher. Now we are in IRRIS, the Institute for Research and Industrial Relations. Thank God you are here and you are saying it. In fact, let me use the example of Doctor. Doctor is the director of research on this campus. Doctor, are you a Gnat member? Are you a dues payer? No, that is just on the lighter note. But bearing them in the mind of your extrinsic motivation, I want to challenge you this morning that using your versatility, you can rise in your front because, yes, the subject area that you are teaching, you have all the pedagogical skills. You have all the methodologies to go back to the classroom to deliver. But what can you also do to yourself using the sharp brains that God gave you? The point I am making, ladies and gentlemen, is that I heard somebody say that you can decide to empty your pocket and fill your head, and your head will fill your pocket. All of us here are confronted with the challenge of trying to get money. But doctor will tell you in his field that there is no way more that you can have a lot of money in this 21st century, but in academia. And so, if you decide to come to IRRIS to take on the MPhil programs that they are doing here, and even in future, take on a PhD program, this is our institution. In the near future, you can still come back here and be a lecturer here and be an administrator here and do something else for yourself because this is our own. That notwithstanding, Emmanuel Dai to me told us that we have 24 hours in a day, yes? You are supposed to work as a professional for 8 hours. How many hours are we left in a day? The mathematicians, are you here? You'll be left with 16. He tells us that you have to sleep at the required time as doctors have prescribed, that every human being must sleep as required for 8 hours. Out of this, we have worked as a professional for 8 hours. You ought to sleep for 8 hours. How many hours are we left? In a day, 8 hours. And who is that 8 hours for? That 8 hours is for you. Can we give it up for the one who answered? Please give him a round of applause. And that is where the rest of the money that can make you or unmake you, that can change your destiny from being a poor teacher, because I've told you I never want to be referred to as a poor teacher, because I'm giving you advice. It is the rest of the 8 hours in a day. But you see, the burden that your coordinator spoke about, in my community, there is a teacher who is doing this burden, and then the community have given him a name, Nanti Diasa, because he's always on the phone and he is working. And so as he's even working and burden and doing that, the community people have looked at that teacher, that educator, calling him Nanti Diasa. As he's working, he is dancing. But I'm sure there could have been a better description of an educator than Nanti Diasa. My dearest, Emmanuel died to me taught us that in every community that each and every one of us are working, there is a need. So if you do a needs assessment of your own community, you realize that there is something missing that you, the teacher, can fill a gap. So I used my own example in the community that I live in because I wanted to be practical as Emmanuel died to me taught us. So when I went to my community, there was this need. Even if you had to come to a Josu to get 10 cedis loaf of bread, you will need to pick a car that will cost you 6 cedis to come for 10 cedis loaf of bread. So yes, I'm a teacher, but at some point in time, I became a baker. And utilizing the rest of the 8 hours could add more to my life than even what the government was paying me as salary. Needs assessment. In one breath, I had to write an examination, the over-the-counter medicine examination. Is it knowledge that you must use to go and sit and write the exams? Yes or yes? And am I a teacher? Can I read and write? Yes. As of now, even the over-the-counter medicine certificate has even moved on because we practiced this over the years, and now we are holding pharmaceutical certificates, but we are teachers. Remember, I told you that a teacher can metamorphose yourself into so many other things. I know people who are farmers making acreages in plantation, different species of plantation. In one breath, I became interested in rearing of animals. And any time that I visited the north, I became intentional to go for the species of the goat that is able to produce 3. It can give birth to 3 at a time. And the goat can give birth 2 times in a year. So if I have one species of goat that is able to deliver 3, and in a year it can give birth to 2, how many goats do I have out of 1 in a year? 7, including the mother. And during Christmas festivities and Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr and all that, do people use animals to celebrate? Yes. Am I a teacher? But I'm a goat seller. Because anytime that in my community people need goats to celebrate, they know that Madame Amanda's house, you can find a goat to buy. And right now, if you care to know one price of a goat, exactly my point. So I am trying to tell you that in giving your own self as your extrinsic motivation, you can change your own stories, and the choice is yours. My last admonition is about the choices that you make. Even if I heard about the counseling, yes. Even if you got a counselor for yourself and your counselor counseled you, at the end of the day, the counselor cannot impose any form of decision on you. Yes or yes? You have got to make the choice yourself. Please do not settle for mediocrity. If I were you, most of the men are dominating, and I had to make a choice, for example, in marriage. As a teacher, if I picked my level of a teacher, that teacher is my co-equal, yes? But even I want to look ahead of me before I settle for my level, but not lower. Are you here with me? Please, if you went in for the doctor, if you went in for the architect, if you went in for the newscaster, those in media coming on TV and all that, depending on who can complement your life, that choice is yours. You usually, most of our men, you can go to the communities and post to the place as a teacher. And because you always think of your tummy, even the food vendors over there, they are opportunists. The watcher sellers and the yam sellers. They can decide to just come and satisfy you. But of course, they too, they are also dreaming in life. Yes? They are big dreamers. But as Mr. Afedu, the General Secretary, Deputy General Secretary, mentioned, if you decide to make the first mistake by impregnating any of these from that level, your life is finished. Because look, in this life today, the market woman or that food vendor still wants to dress to match. Are you aware? They want to fix their hair like I have done. They want to dress and have their shoes to match. And they want to dress and have the bags to match. At whose cost? At your cost. So then, do not settle for mediocrity. And make sure that at worst, have the life partner at your level. That is the minimum. But the Vice President is here this morning to tell you that for the maximum, go ahead of yourself. I am not telling you right now that go back and change your wives. I am not telling you to go back and divorce them. But listen to me. Let us be motivated from the life of Dr. Emmanuel Dai to me that I quoted before. If you have already made a choice, you can still change the narrative. You can change the narrative using the inspiration that I've told you from Dr. Emmanuel Dai to me story. At least he was a shoe shine man, but then he has now become a big consultant in academia. And so if you have already made a choice, please go back and retrain your wife to come to a certain level such that your lives can be better than you are. I wish you well in the summit. Stay blessed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, madam. We are grateful. We want to take 3 questions from our colleagues based on the presentation that Dr. Linus gave us. So, 1.
Thank you very much.
Please, you mention your name and your district and region.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. My name is Boachi Mensah from STV District, BA. I'm a teacher at the senior high school. When Dr. Linus was speaking, he said something like, education is not only in the cities where they sit there to make policies. Prof also said something. We have made politics to divide us as youth. Mm-hmm. I'm going to speak on these 2. Now let's come to senior high school. GS is 50 years, but senior high school is going down. This year, when the results came, teachers, parents, they were forgetting the contact hours. As we speak, those in Form 3, they reported to school on the 4th of December 2023. So if senior high school is 3 years, then they should complete school 4th December 2026. Now they are not completing in December. September has also been changed
to May, June.
Down May, June. So their term of school has been reduced by 6 good months. Now, they are telling us that they are going on vacation on the 18th, which is Thursday.
Break,
they will come back on the 5th January.
It's a break, it's not a vacation, please.
Okay. And they are telling us they are going to spend 6 months. My brothers and sisters, it's only about 2 months that they are going to study. The rest of the months is about examination. So what are we doing to ourselves? Is it about examination or is it about imparting knowledge to these students? I met an headmaster and I told him this about doing the CHAS meeting. That said, the minister, the director general is coming for your meeting. Tell him this major thing is going to affect the results. The headmaster told me that let's go and do target teaching. Target teaching. So it's about the examination. No. And they are also saying that they want to reverse back to May, June. Are we competing with some countries in the world? This is Ghana, for Christ's sake. Now, next year exams, with all due respect, the results, if you don't take care, it's going to be the worst ever. Mr. President, Chairman, please, NAT must issue a communique on this. This major thing, if for nothing at all, you should reverse it. If for not, you should go back to September. If not, the performance is going to be the worst ever. If you're a teacher in senior high school and you are able to complete syllabus, it means you are not teaching well. You are not teaching well. I was in my village and a student came back from vacation. He says, topics where this is a strategy some schools are taking. What about those who cannot afford extra classes? Those informed too. Yes, something you call offline, on net. GES is doing something they don't even understand. I asked a PLC coordinator who is going around. He said, you don't know what we are doing. What is happening in education service? If I was not here today, I'll be the most sad person in the world. Please, the reason why I went for the microphone, please, Mr. President, I want NAT to issue a communique on this May, June next year. If for nothing at all, you should go back to September. We are not late. We should not rush these students to come outside. Meanwhile, there are no jobs outside for them to do. Why are you rushing them? The reason why you are having 5 years education, O level, is to create vacancy for the job opportunities. Now we are bringing them out. There are no jobs. And we are pushing these students away. So my humble appeal is that please now should issue a communique on this major. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. We'll take a second question.
Thank you. My name is Abdurrahim, youth coordinator for Tamale Metro. I'm going to focus on the speech delivered by Prof. I was actually touched by the presentation from Doc. I'm so grateful. I think from your speech, you indicated that, with all due respect, Mr. Chair, that you cannot sit in Accra and develop policies for a rural teacher when you don't know the dynamics of the rural community. It is said that charity begins at home. We are youth coordinators representing a larger population of the union. What is our union doing? Knowing very well that the youth constitute about 70% of our population in NAT. Yet, at the district council level, the local coordinators are not part of council. At the regional council, the district coordinators are not part of council. The same thing applies at the national level. If indeed we want to involve the youth in policy making, why is it that in our union, those who constitute the larger population are left out at the highest level? Why? Thank you very much.
The last one, please.
Thank you very much. I am Amwakun Tori Samuel.
Please let's listen to him.
Jabos on the street. Dr. Linus, in fact, has done justice to we the youth, and I salute you, sir. Not as an association, from what I have gathered from my youth, they always say that policies are done to favor us whenever we are going on retirement. And it looks like there's no clear-cut policy that is directed to the development of the youth. In fact, we've gotten the opportunity. Now the CEO for the association was our youth coordinator. Our deputy, Mr. Kwame, who was with us here, was also our coordinator. I am only trying to ask Mr. Afedu to relay this information to the CEO, that what legacy is he leaving for the youth desk, since we have actually made him our CEO. Now, the point again is that we are saying the youth. As my brother said, decision making, we are very, very down. And Madam also said that we should go into entrepreneur. Now, the youth desk, when we are meeting, it is every 4 years. That's why I'm saying that there's no crack cut policy. So I am, now that the president is here with us, I want him and his team to at least give us at least 1 or 2 policies that will favor the youth. For instance, training us in coding IT, also training us in entrepreneurship, and also grant us youth loans at an affordable rate so that we can start businesses with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A very last one. Please, this. Hello. Please, you are just on that side. Jonathan.
Thank you so much.
Okay. This is the very last one.
Okay. Please, Mr. Chair, I would like to stand on the already laid protocols. Mr. Stephen Osei, Asunafo District Youth Coordinator. If we look at the hierarchy of our decision making, we start from local conferences, we come to district, regional, and then to the national. And as our mates already made mention, you see, the youth, we cover about 70% of Gnat. But if you look at the upcoming national conference that you are planning, I don't know if I may ask my fellow youth if some of them are having slots in this upcoming conference. So if we are standing in for the youth and we are not, and the Qataris, as we said, and we do not have slots in this our national conference, so I want to ask, how are we going to involve ourselves in the decision making? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you very
much. They will be attended to in due time.
Before, please. Yes. Before Doctor. A minute. Okay. Before they give us answer to the questions. Yes, don't worry. Yes. I have one question to ask National President and the authorities. I am privileged to be part of the Constitution Amendment Committee. And in that committee, I made a proposal for the youth to be included in National Executive. The reason being, one of the functions of National Executive is to facilitate programs that will help the youth and the females in the union. And when I gave that proposal, it was turned down. Hold on. Mr. President gave an explanation that wasn't satisfactory to me. But here that we are as the family youth, as far as the national youth is concerned, I want the president to explain to us further why the youth is not included in the national executive. That aside, by the grace of God, 2031, we are going to be 100 years. A union that is 100 years and the youth being catalysts. Why can't we be included in the executive to be part of the decision-making process, since we are the largest among the union? Thank you.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
I think most of the submissions that came are issues directed to the leadership of Gnat. So I will give the mic to them.
Yes, most of the questions are not questions. And let me start. Are we together? You see, we are part of leadership. And our primary source of tool is the Gnat Constitution. Every 4 years, we have opportunity to make some proposal to enable the National Delegate Conference to adopt same in amending aspects of our Constitution. Currently, as things stand, the composition of National Delegate Conference is already stated in the Constitution. You see, we can only get the opportunity when the upcoming conference decide to make amend. Then going forward, we can implement such decision. We cannot say that today, after your conference, we are passing a resolution that every youth organizer here or coordinator here should join us in Accra. It will be a breach of the Constitution, and any member can take the union on. And so when it comes to constitutional matters, it is not about emotions, but it's about what the law says. So please, constitutional matters, the body to take decision is the conference. And luckily, there are a sizable number of you who are part of the upcoming conference. Please. Are you saying that apart from the officers here, there are no delegates amongst you? Please. So please, you see, at your level, the district conference, it is the district conference that elects delegates to regional conference and the national conference. And per the current provisions in the Constitution, unless the upcoming conference make amends, then we all abide by such decision. But until then, I will be lying to you to tell you that from here every district youth coordinator can come to Accra. That one is not possible. I must be frank with you. Then please. Then,
hello, Mr. President. Please, let's. Thank you.
Then the issue of the hierarchy and decision making. In fact, I think we have a lot of membership education to do in terms of our structures. If youth coordinators want to be part of the governing councils, i.e., district council, regional council, and national council, it's a process and not an event. You see, we have the window when we are starting local conference. If you allow the various conferences to pass and you are left with the last one and you want to push for anything, it's not possible. So anytime we are organizing conferences, starting from the local conference, that is where we start pushing. Because you see, at the district council, the constitution says that the local chairman, the local treasurer, and the local secretary, they are part of the council. So if we feel that we should include everybody at the local level as executive, then we must start the work as early as possible. But if you allow the local conference to pass, you allow the district conference to pass, and you now want to come to the region, you see, at the regional level, we don't select delegates to national conference. The only people that the regional conference selects, apart from the regional chairman and the executive member, are the special 2 female. So most of the work is done at the district level. So for me, my advice is that whatever that we want to do, those of us who have our colleagues being part of the National Delegate Conference, whatever proposal that the National Council will be tabling before the conference can decide to approve or turn it down. And when conference turn it down, conference is clothed with authority to make its own rules and amendments. So it is not too late. But I'm saying that to ask you currently that come to Accra from 1st January, I might be lying to you. But let us all take clue that anytime we are organizing conferences and we want to make major amendments, let's start. Oh, yes, as for now, it's not possible. But those coming for the National Delegate Conference is about lobbying. It's about pushing the agenda. So I don't have a problem. But lobby through the people you know that are coming. For me, the referee in the chair. You see, we rule on majority decision. In meeting, you, the chairman, you have no power. You only guide the house. The chairman in a meeting has no power. You are only to guide, to make sure that things run smoothly. But when it comes to decision making, the chairman only has power when we have a tie in voting. But I have not experienced, apart from secret votes, that will have a tie. Always, if you the chairman put the question, those in favor say aye, those against say no. Certainly, there can be a tie. One must win. So, decision makers are the people down there. Those up here are only recipients of the authority from the ground. So, it is not for the president or any officer, but the delegates that have the power to direct the chair that this is where we want to go. We want to go to Kasua, but we are passing through Central Region. We will not pass through Kumasi. So it's up to the delegate to decide where we want the union to be. The decision lies in the hands of the delegate, not any individual. So when you come, those of you who are part of conference, when you come, whatever decision you want us to take, that will help build the union. Nobody will guide you. So it isn't that we are stopping a decision. As leaders, we are in to guide you, just as I'm doing. So that is it. As for GES secondary school calendar, Mr. Amadou, Deputy General Secretary in charge of education and professional development. That is his domain. And I'm sure he has taken notes. As soon as he moves from here, he will relay the information to the CEO, the General Secretary. And you see, in that, we operate on 2 legs. We are policy formulators. We don't run the day-to-day administration. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, we've built to close by 11:30. We still have opportunity. Yeah, time is fast spent. So we need to bring proceedings first session to a close. We still have opportunity during the second session to continue some of these discussions and even pass a resolution. And even pass a resolution on some of these issues. So let us suspend discussion on some of these things so that we close officially and we come back. So at this juncture, I would like to invite the chairman. You don't want a second session? You don't want a second session? At this point, we want to invite the chairman to give us his closing remarks.
Thank you, our president for the UDEX. But I've learned something new, Mr. Cody. Hello. Until today, I didn't know Mr. Cody was a National Youth Coordinator. Mr. President says he's not. So it should be on record that he is not.
He is officer in charge of the youth desk. Officer in charge of the youth desk. Coordinators are the elected officers, like yourself. He is not a political member of Gnat. He's an employee. So he can't be the youth coordinator.
Hello, please. Please. It's good. We have listened to the various speakers. They made various submissions. I was taking notes, and I don't want to go through whatever each one of them said. But I took note of some key issues that gave rise to maybe a controversy, especially with a submission by the national president. What I said was not linked to him, claiming that the meeting or the summit shouldn't come on. He wasn't a party to that. When these issues happen, we have heard of the UDEX, Mr. Cody here. He was the one we're liaising with. And your regional youth coordinators will bear witness to that fact. They drew my attention to the fact that the youth summit was not coming on, and that it should come on next year. I inquired, pushed, and told Mr. Cody, he's here, that it's supposed to be this year, so that if there is a need for any meeting. So, Mr. President, you are not a party to it, and I have no such intent. Colleagues, a lot has been said. And in order not to bore you, have the second session. We have been talking of various policies. We have been talking of motivation and what have you. You see, when Dr. Linus was making his submission, he made reference to the rural teacher. Is that not it? The fundamentals of these challenges are supposed to be solved at the national level, not even with our union involvement or at the union front, but as a president of the Republic of Ghana. We have what we call wage disparities that we are not taking note of. Till date, I do not understand why I should be in Kumasi Metro or Accra Metro and be receiving the same salary at the rank of maybe AD1 with a teacher at Anyunofi, Kwame Danso, also at the same rank. Until we start looking at some of these. So if you read where we are coming from independence, we have various fragmented salary structures we work with. Even until when Chairman Rawlings took over, where he brought him the GUS, Ghana Universal Salary Structure, in the year 1999. And then in 2010, we introduced a single spine. All these structures failed. I'm repeating, they failed to address this concept of workers, employees surviving or serving the nation in the deprived areas. And until we start looking at some of these things from that angle, we will always be lamenting, explaining, and we won't get anywhere. And I'm hoping that a day will come that we will look at the single spine and look at how best we will adjust that accordingly. On that note, colleagues, a lot had been said. I'm only grateful for your cooperation, comportment. And Mr. President, we didn't use the platform as a campaign platform. We are just pleading. It was something that came inadvertently. And we are hoping that it's because of the season we find ourselves in. Is that not it? That is the reason why. And I wish to be part of the second session, but as a chairman of the youth desk, I'm not, I only, hello. I was only given the opportunity to chair this session. And I cannot come look at you and then just leave. We need to refresh you. So, So, colleagues, we are grateful for your time and God bless you. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Mr. Chairman, we just want to thank you for the good gesture. When we receive the money, we will thank you appropriately. Now it's a promise. Colleagues. Hello. Colleagues. I think we have been sitting for long. So it's time for us to take the vote of thanks. So we want to call on Miss Mariama Abdullahi. Miss Mariama Abdullahi to do that for us.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, so I'm so much grateful and I'm privileged to be part of this program. This is my first time and I've really enjoyed. Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. First of all, you thank God Almighty for giving us this serene environment and also for having a fruitful deliberation. We want to take this opportunity to thank our prominent people on our seat. We want to thank our chairman for the occasion, Mr. Prosper Techi. Despite your busy schedule, you have been with us and we are so much grateful. We want to thank our president, Reverend Isaac Owusu. We thank you so much for joining us. We also want to thank our president for the Institute. Prof, we are so much grateful for hosting us and for the warm reception. We want to thank our guest speaker. Sir, we are so much grateful, Doctor. You are knowledgeable. We thank you so much. And we want to thank our officers. We can't mention your name all. We are so much grateful for throwing your weight and for joining us. God bless you. We want to thank our regional coordinators. You have done a great job. God bless you. And we want to thank ourselves. Let's clap for ourselves. We have really done well. God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my dear sister, for thanking all of us. We also say unto you, thank you very much. At this juncture, I think we are coming to a close. And without much ado, I will invite Mr. Abubakari Awal from Tamale to give us the closing prayer for this particular session. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much. So, first of all, we want to thank the Almighty Allah for granting us safe travels from our homes of abode to this summit. We thank the Almighty Allah for giving us the gift of life to be part of this. We pray that He gives our leaders the strength, the wisdom to navigate the ship into the promised land. We, those who are in touch with the students at the grassroots, we pray that Almighty Allah gives us strength, the knowledge to impact the knowledge efficiently to our students. We also pray that all of us here, when going back to our destinations, may we be granted with safe travels. To invoke the presence of the Almighty Allah, I recite the first verse of the Holy Quran. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Awal. Now, before the solidarity song, when we close, kindly see your regional youth coordinator for a coupon. If you go to where they are serving the food without a coupon, you won't be served the lunch. So kindly see your regional youth coordinator. See. So let's take a solidarity song. Solidarity song, solidarity song. Hold hands, please.
Hold hands, please.
Let's hold our hands.
The union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run. There can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what falls on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of mine. But the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
Kindly see your regional youth coordinator for your coupon for the lunch. Please do that before you go for lunch.
Minudo yo, minudo yo, minudo yo, minudo yo, aso, minudo yo, minudo yo.
Machimitezi, Edrumanesi, Tafureti, Atafureti, but still we make, but still Me didn't have a yassido. Nanka me did take ya kwamin kwa me ya kwamin ba. Pressure kwana me daminda. Me didn't have a yassido. They spit on my face, so they block our way, so yo. Na me na shira, na shio. Me say what